What is up, you guys? It is Monday. It is Spencer. I'm sorry. I missed you yesterday. Or last week. I was in a very bad emotional state, but I'm back and I apologize for being absent. My dogs are barking. I don't know what's going on. This week, we are talking about our first experience in the bathroom of our choice and how it was like, if we had negative experiences about it, etc. So I'm actually going to talk to you about a recent experience, and by recent I mean 2 days ago. Bathrooms have always been and probably will always be, unless there's a gender-neutral bathroom available, an issue for me. I am almost 6 months on T, so I am definitely more passing to the general public as male, which is positive, especially with my haircut short. I definitely pass as male more often, and that has been good. So when I go to the gym, I just go to LA Fitness. I was doing a aqua aerobics class, and I went into the pool, and I went in because I've been at this gym for a year, and I've always used the female locker room, and people know me, so I kind of was like, I guess I have to continue to use the female locker room. So I went through the female locker room, I went in, I just put myself in the locker, I was already in my swim trunks, I went into the class, I did the class, and it was fine. And then afterwards, the teacher talked to me about certain things, because I asked about intensity level, blah, 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 blah. And then I was talking to another gentleman who told me I should invest in water shoes, blah, 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 blah. And then, as I was leaving, I went towards the women's locker room, and he was like, oh, wrong one. And I was like, oh, shit, thanks. Which was awkward, because I was like, oh, okay, and he didn't think anything of it because I said thanks, and I went right to the men's locker room. But then I was just kind of in the men's locker room, and I was like, but all my stuff is in the women's locker room. So it was like, I walked through the men's locker room just so I can walk back in the women's locker room. But when I walked out of the men's locker room, there's a group of women going into the women's locker room. And, like, one of the women was like, hey, how's it going? And then, like, went into the locker room. And I was like, fuck, now if I go in there, it's gonna be, like, this big thing. So I kind of, like, paced around LA Fitness for 20 minutes, like, trying not to hyperventilate in my soaking wet swim trunks, because I didn't know what to do. And then finally, I just, like, went into the women's locker room and kept my head low and, like, grabbed my stuff and ran out. And I, like, sat in my car, like, soaking wet. And it was bad. From now on, I'm going to be using the men's locker room at LA Fitness, because if I pass to that guy, I'm just going to assume I pass to everyone. And that's really cool, because that's the one I wanted to use, and it's the one I've always wanted to use, so I'm kind of happy about that. I have had one bad experience when using the male's locker room, or the male's restroom. It was a long time ago when I wasn't passing, and I also didn't identify as trans. I guess it was like my body or my mind telling me that there's something to this, but I was like, I don't want to use the women's locker room. Or the women's bathroom. I'm gonna use the men's. And I went in, and it was fine. I went to the bathroom, and I got up, and I washed my hands. And when I was washing my hands, nobody came in. I went to grab like a paper to dry it, and the door opened. And when the door opened, a guy comes in. And he sees me, and I look at him, and he looks at me, and he stops. And then he, like, closes the door, and, like, he looks at the, like, little decal on the door, and then looks at me, and then looks at the decal again. And so now I'm uncomfortable. So now I'm like, I know what he's thinking, and I don't pass, and holy shit. And he's like, you're wrong. And I was like, I'm gonna go now, bye. Like, what do you say to that? And I just kind of ran away. So that scared me, because, you know, it definitely could have been negative really fast, and that would have been problematic. So, my advice to you guys, if you're, you know, trying to navigate bathrooms, is it's going to be, it's definitely a process. For safety reasons, I would suggest waiting until you pass. But hey, if you want to fucking do it and you have confidence, then do it with, like, a friend maybe, or in a place that you feel comfortable. Because the worst thing, like, the last thing I want to happen to you or anyone is that, like, you are, you know, a victim of violence because some ignorant ass individual decided to, you know, just tell you what bathroom you belong in. And I wouldn't want that on anyone. So I definitely did not start using the bathrooms until I was on T. And even then, I didn't do it until people started telling me that I didn't belong in the women's bathroom. So that's my take on it. That's my story. I hope you guys are having a great week. I know it just started. Black Pride just left Atlanta, so did Dragon Con. So I'm trying to rest up because it's been a hectic one. It's Monday. It's Spencer. Sorry for missing last week. Until next time.